Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Developer Small Talk. I know it's been a while. Life has been busy. I've been changing jobs and doing a lot of novelty things. But I took the time and got some new people on board. And today I'm very excited to say hello to Mark over in Seattle. Hello. Hey, Mark. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. Thank you very much, Stefan. Thank you for inviting me to participate in your video.
Well, thank you so much for for taking the time. Can you let me know who you are and what you're up to these days?
So my name is Mark Reay, and I work at Microsoft. I've actually been at Microsoft for about 12 years. And one of the things interesting happening at Microsoft is we are beginning to have new acceptance and contributions to the open source world. And I'm really thrilled to be a part of that. And my team is the Accessibility Insights team, and we've been working on some accessibility tools for a couple of years now that we use inside of Microsoft to help developers create software that works with people with disabilities. And I was really excited about 6 months ago when we made the decision to take this product open source and to release it to the world. So the same tools that we use inside Microsoft now anyone can use. And not only can you use it, but you can also see our source code and you can contribute to it.
That is super nice. Microsoft became a cool kid over the last few years. Huh? That's very exciting to see.
Yes, yeah, we're all very excited about it as well. It's frankly, it's a cooler place to work now.
Oh, that's good to know. So, and you're talking about, let me share my screen so that you can guide me through the thing.
Yes. So I'm talking about Accessibility Insights is the name of our product, and we have a website, accessibilityinsights.io, which is the main hub of finding everything you want to find out about it. And I see it on the screen now.
Cool. So we're here at Accessibility Insights right now. So let me just dive here into it a little bit. So it works for the web and Windows. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, we have two tools. One is a web tool, which is a Chrome extension that actually helps you find issues on web. And then there's also a Windows application. So if you're writing Windows native applications, you can scan their accessibility. And
So it's so for native Windows apps.
yes. So for example, let's say that, well, right, there's a bunch of accessibility tools that have been around for Windows for a while, like Inspect and Acavent, and these ship with the Windows SDK, but they haven't been very well supported. And so what we did is we created a replacement for these, and when we call it Accessibility Insights. It's very, very exciting.
That is super cool. I thought that Accessibility Insights is only about the web. That is nice.
Yeah, no, about half of our team works on the Windows side, and about half works on the web side.
How many people are in the team? Can I ask that?
We have 16 engineers on the team.
16 engineers for accessibility. That is...
Yeah, 16.
Yeah, still 16
Yeah.
for accessibility. That's awesome.
Well, it's a significant effort, and I'm really thrilled that Microsoft is willing to put this kind of investment into developer tooling. We have over 50,000 engineers in the company, and they need good tools. And I'm excited that when we build these tools, we let anyone use them.
That makes total sense. Want to give the web version a try? Because I'm not on a Windows machine.
Absolutely. And actually, if you just click on Add to Chrome,
all right,
it'll take you to the Chrome Web Store, and there you can just add to Chrome, say you're okay with it.
All right.
And
I don't want to sync, but cool. So now we have this icon here.
Yep. So you can't scan the Chrome Web Store with it, but you can scan a website. And I sent you a gist earlier that has a link to a website we can scan.
Yeah.
So this is a demo website. It was actually something produced by the University of Washington, and I've made some changes to it to highlight a few additional accessibility issues, which is one of the reasons why I'm running it from a separate GitHub.io page here.
Mm-hmm.
And so if you want to scan, you click on the heart icon is what you click on, and that launches the extension. Now here you can decide, do you want to send us telemetry or not? Now, this is the thing we use the telemetry for is to help see how it's used and how we can make it better. And one of the other things we're going to do is we're going to share all that telemetry with the community, so you'll see exactly what we see from it.
That's cool.
but we don't take any personal information, or we anonymize everything.
Yeah.
So there are three basic phases to accessibility insights for web. The one is FastPass. That's a very, very quick check that a developer can use. The second one is assessment, which is a more thorough analysis of your website that'll actually do 100% of the WCAG 2.0 AA requirements. And then there's some ad hoc tools that let you use some of the visualizations that are inside the assessment, but let you use them quickly. So we'll start with FastPass.
Okay, I have a question on the side.
Yes.
Accessibility Insights works with Xcore?
Oh, yes. We actually,
How did that happen?
Axcore is our scanning engine and has been for some time. So we didn't build a scanning engine. What we've built is a user experience. And Axcore is basically the industry standard for accessibility scanning. And we have a close partnership with DQ Systems. Actually, they've made contributions to our project, and we've made contributions to them. So they're a key partner.
I love that. That is so it is not just another tool, it's kind of collaborating. That is.
So the rules, the issues you see from Accessibility Insights are the same things you would see from Axcore, and we don't add anything in terms of the rules. The contributions that we want to make to rules or enhancements to rules, we make those contributions to Axcore. We don't want to compete with the community. We want to be a participant.
That is the sentence of the day of the new Microsoft, huh?
Yeah.
Sounds good. Want to give FastPass a try?
Yes.
Cool. So clicking that.
So you click on that, it launches a second. Now, if you can dock this to the side, if it's possible, yeah, that's what we want. Yeah. Ideally, this works best on a double screen experience, but obviously for the demo and the video and all that, this is what we have to have. But what you see there is a list of the 23 failures that you have on this particular site.
Oh, it's scanned already.
Oh, it's done. The scan is done. Okay. And you can highlight those issues. Now, if you click on one of the rows, it'll actually highlight that one issue. So it'll put a red rectangle around the issue and show you exactly where it is on the page. And then down below, it gives you more details about it. So it tells you what the rule is. It tells you what success criterion in the WCAG, which is the Web Content Accessibility Guidelines that we have to follow. It gives you specific how to fix guidance. And it also gives you the ability to file an issue in GitHub.
Oh, where's that?
So if you scroll up a little bit on the bottom pane, there's down in the bottom section there, see where it says File Issue? Now, you have to go to Settings to configure issue filing. So if you click on the gear, we'll go ahead and set that up for you. Go to Settings. And then in issue filing, if you take that other GitHub link that I sent you and you paste it there, it'll identify the GitHub repo that you want to file issues against. And you would typically make this your own, but for the purposes of the demo, we have a demo account we use for this. And then you can close the settings. Now, if you click on File Issue, it'll actually create that issue.
I love that.
And so it has all of the details, everything that you see here. It's ready to go ahead and hit Submit New Issue, assign it to a member of your team, and have this go fixed. Have this be fixed.
Super nice. That is a nice idea. Cool.
So another feature of FastPass is the export result. And if you click on export result, which is right next to the show failures, there you got it. And you can type a description of the page you want. Sometimes you want to explain what it is you did. This is optional, but it'll add it to the report. If you hit export, now down at
it's below the screen load. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, there it is. Go ahead and open that. Now, what this is an HTML file, but it's completely self-contained. It has all of the styles embedded in it so that you could just email this to someone. And,
how big is that now? Let's see.
What's that?
How big is that? Let's see. Well, that's totally mailable.
Yeah, it's not that big. But it does mean that something they don't have to have downloaded Accessibility Insights. They can just use this, and it has the key information about the site. We use this when we want to be able to share these results, in total, not as an individual issue, but say, hey, this is the state of our site right now, and then people can share this kind of information.
That's nice. Cool. What is that here? Tab stops.
Tab stops. That's the other half of FastPass. So if you need to go back to the target page, and you can actually click on that. Let's see. Go back. Yeah, there you are. Now go back to tab stops, and if you turn tab stops on, where it says show tab stops, the little toggle, and you start. Now just press the tab key, and it'll start tabbing through the page. And what it'll do, keep tabbing, and you'll see that it actually gives you a trail showing where your tab order, what your tab order is. So one of the common issues that you run into with web pages is things like focus traps, things missing from the tab order. For example, one of these items might be missing from the tab order. And in fact, if you notice, there are large icons with chevrons that allow you to move left and right in that with that image in the center. Those are they're not in the tab order, which means with a keyboard, they are inaccessible. And this would be a definite failure. And you can see that immediately through the tab order. And it's a very vivid way to illustrate this. And actually, when I demo this in front of people, believe it or not, this is the thing that gets the applause. People really love this. It's a little bit of gamification of accessibility.
Yeah, is there a way to export that as an image or something?
You could certainly capture a screenshot. We've been working. It's one of the things we've been thinking about is some way to be able to share this, like in the report. But at this point, you could absolutely take a screenshot.
Could I do this now in Chrome, like capture full screen?
Yeah, you could totally do that.
That is so cool.
There you go.
Okay, that is. Yeah, I'm impressed a little bit. That's nice. Cool.
So this only took us a couple minutes. We call this FastPass. It's the rapid process, and it's the guidance that we give to our developers is whenever you're doing UI work, always run it through FastPass before you call it done. Make sure that you don't have any accessibility issues.
That makes sense.
But true accessibility, actually, it takes more, and it requires you to go through the assessment. Now, if you the rocket ship icon at the top where it says FastPass, if you pull down that little menu and go to assessment, you'll see the more rigorous, and this has a lot more tests in it.
Mm-hmm.
And actually, the first test is the automated checks. This is actually the exact same checks you already did, but it puts it in a different format, which puts it in with all the other the tests.
Okay.
And I'm not going to go through all these. We don't, your viewers don't want to watch us do an entire assessment here, but I'm going to go ahead and skip down to images. And, or I'm going to have you two click on number 14, images. And click on the text alternative, the second requirement. And we're going to need to scroll down a little bit. We might need to, there it is. So what this does is it actually, go ahead and click on the checkbox for the first image. What it does is it identifies all the images on the page, and it pulls some key information out of those images so that you can make decisions about how accessible they are. And one of the things that we'll see right off is that first image has an accessible name of logo-441x90.
Mm.
Well, that's exactly what this is. This is what a screen reader is going to read for this. Yeah. Probably should say Accessible University. So this is an issue that really should be addressed.
Yeah. But this is okay. Let me be sure that I understand it. This shows now all the images that are on the page and gives me information.
Yes.
But I could run this and I would see red warnings somehow. Is that right?
Well, so the problem is there's no way for the system to make an assessment about whether logo-441x90 is a valid for that.
Gotcha.
It really takes a human being to decide, is that the appropriate accessible name for it?
So I would have to say, okay.
Yeah, you can say fail.
Fail. Horizontal line. Okay.
And that's actually fine. These are actually fine on these.
Okay, that makes sense.
They're horizontal lines. Yeah. And there's actually at the top, there's a little helper. If you scroll up a little bit, scroll down again. Actually, you can collapse that how to test guidance that can give you a little screen real estate back. Yeah. And then how to test. Yes. But if you click on pass unmarked instances, everything you haven't marked as a fail will get marked as a pass. And then you've completed this requirement. And now you see you got a red X in the text alternative, which tells you you've completed that requirement.
Okay. So
And
when I would use the whole tool, I would go here and I would press start over, and then it would do all the checks that are possibly that can be automated, and that would leave the manual needed checks out of it. Or how does it work?
well, everything that can be automated is in the first test. That's the automated checks.
Right.
And those are the same things you see in FastPass. Everything
Mm.
else is either a manual or what we call an assisted manual. Headings is another example of where now there's no headings on this page, which is one of the reasons why these are getting marked as passed, because there are no headings.
Okay.
So actually, if you're up for it, we could go to your website now and we could take a look at that, and I can show you a few other things here.
Totally up for that.
All right. So let's start with
What happens here now?
Okay, so what it's saying that you changed to a different website, and we don't want to throw all your information away, but we probably do. So
Yeah.
we want to find out, do you want to start over with a new website? But the one thing we don't want to do is accidentally throw away, like you just spent 45 minutes assessing a website and we throw your information away.
That makes sense. So Accessibility Insights checks or uses the current tab of the other window all the time. Is that true?
Yes. Yeah. This tab here is pinned to the tab that you launched it from, and that's the one it watches.
Okay. Yeah. Of course. So let's throw it all away. Cool.
And automated checks, you're 100% green, and that's really awesome.
Well, thank you.
Good job.
I care a little bit about that. Yeah.
So I did look at your website a little earlier, and if you go down to headings, I found a couple things that we should talk about. And actually, let's collapse the getting started.
Yeah.
So we can get a little more room, and collapse the how to test.
How to test? Where's the how to test?
Yeah, there's a how to test right below the visual helper. There's a little collapsible section. Collapse that guidance. That how to,
yeah. Okay.
Yeah. All right. So here what it does is it shows you all the headings. And what you need to do is you have to decide, are all these things, and actually if you go to the top and you click on the top checkbox, it'll highlight them on the page. No, the checkbox right up.
Oh no! Oh, I passed all of them.
Yeah, you did. That's okay. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
Okay, so what it does is it actually draws boxes around all your headings, and it shows you which ones are H1s, which ones are H2s.
Yeah.
And the question being asked here are these actually headings? Because what happens is a lot when developers develop a website, they use an H4 tag when they just want the text to be big, but it's not necessarily a heading.
Mm.
And for the most part, most of these seem like headings. It actually, popular posts is the H2, and then the H3 is below it and all that. But when I get down to the bottom, there's an H4, which I want to talk to you about, which is where you talk about get the latest content right in your inbox.
Mm.
And so I'm not sure this is really a heading.
Yeah, now that you point that out, I may agree with you.
Yeah, so the thing to do here probably is not to use an H4 tag. It's okay to make it look like this, but to use a div tag instead, so that it doesn't show up as a heading when someone's using the screen reader and using the H key to move around through the headings.
Yeah, that makes total sense.
There's another issue that came up. I actually consulted with one of the accessibility advisors on my team. If you go to heading level, this is a different test about headings, and it's the third requirement.
Yeah.
And turn on the visual helper. And so one of the rules in the WCAG is that H1s are supposed to be larger than H2s, which are supposed to be larger than H3s.
I didn't know that.
And your H2s are actually smaller than your H3s, which is technically a violation.
That is interesting. Oh man, when a developer tries to design and then
Yep.
That's super cool. Thanks for letting me know.
So something to point out. There's one last thing. If you go down to images, let's see. Go down to the images. This is the same test we were looking at before.
Yeah.
Your topmost images, which is that heart, has no accessible, but it's also coded. It's not coded as meaningful or decorative. If it was coded as decorative, then it won't say anything. But the problem is that it should either have a description or it should be coded as decorative. And there's guidance in here. If you click on, for example, you can click on see the little eyes with the circles around them? Go ahead and click on one of those.
The little eyes with circles?
Yeah. So next to images at the very top in the heading, there's an eye in a circle. It's a little blue eye.
Wait, in Accessibility Insights or on Chrome?
Oh, sorry, letter I. Yeah, sorry.
This one.
Yeah, there it is. If you
Ah,
click on that, it'll take you to another page that has some detailed guidance about images, why it matters, what you should do, what you should not do. And at the bottom, it has a forest of blue links about all sorts of more information about what's important and what you need to do with this.
oh,
So we
that's nice.
so one of the things we see this is a one-stop shop for everything about accessibility that you need to know. Um,
Cool. Yeah,
so
I thought that. So this is wrapped in ARIA label. I have to read about that. What happens when there's an SVG in? Okay.
Yeah, and I'd be happy to correspond with you about this if you want to dive into it.
Yeah, I will. I will just read and try some screen
Yeah.
readers. But that's good that it's pointing that out.
So one last thing I want to show you, if you can go back to FastPass on your website, something
Hmm.
I like to show. If you go to automated checks and go ahead and show failures, go ahead and turn that on, and it'll run the scan. If you export the report, since you got the congratulations and you're doing great, what we have is our accessibility mascot will come and congratulate you.
Well,
So this is Ada. She's our accessibility developer ambassador. Also is a ninja cat, but a very adorable ninja cat, and
yeah,
we'll congratulate you.
that is awesome. Cool. That looks like a very, very useful tool. Let me just stop sharing here and let's go back to you.
I think I've showed you everything that I wanted to show you. I wonder if you have any questions.
Well, I was just starting digging around and looking for more errors on my site. So, and there are always any, right?
Yes, and there's definitely a lot to know. I mean, I think that there's always accessibility is a complex topic, and that's one of the reasons why we tried to put this as a tool. It doesn't solve the problem, but it gives you the information that you need to begin addressing it. And I know that anyone with disabilities out there appreciates everything we can do to make the web usable to them, because for many people it's a stumbling block right now.
Yeah, every day a tiny step better, right?
Yep.
Cool. Yeah, I think I will continue playing around with accessibility insights. Mark, I want to thank you so much for taking the time. What
Oh,
time is it at your place right now?
it's my well, it's 1:40 in the afternoon. So
Well, okay. We've said almost 11 here in Germany. If people want to get in touch with you or have any question, is that possible somehow?
yes, please reach out to me. I've given my Twitter and my email address, and I think you're going to share that with your audience. And
Yeah.
feel free to reach out to me if you have any questions or concerns, or go on GitHub, file an issue, or please consider a pull request. We'd be happy to see a contribution.
The open source Microsoft.
Yes.
Cool. I'm very happy, and yeah, I think that's it for today. And talk soon.
Yeah.
So thank you very much, Mark.
Thanks so much, Stefan.